Hey, storytelling Ron here. I've got a little bit of a congestion thing going on, but whatever. So I sound kind of goofy. Or I already sound goofy. But what I want to talk about is just how to. I had another video on DMs Go Easy, but I just want to go a little bit over that again. How to simplify your encounters, your creatures, your beasts, or whatever that you're. Even spellcasters. Just how you don't have to. If you just familiarize yourself with some basic stuff, you can just throw in anything at any time. Okay. Or quickly create something on the spot, or as you're prepping, you can, instead of having to find everything, you can just kind of make up an NPC or creature right there, and the players are gonna they're gonna be totally fine. I find myself constantly shifting around hit points, armor classes, and things in the middle of a play when we're playing, because the feel of the what's going on. For me, orcs are constantly, I'm moving the hit points up and down, and their damage and stuff when we're playing or whatever. So I just want to show you, like, at first level, you basically are going to have a +3 attack. Right? What's the mailman? Okay, got the dog inside barking at the mailman. Okay, so first level, as you can see, it's plus. You just do a +3. You just do 1d6 +1 for damage. You don't have a scimitar, blade, whatever weapon, bow. Their saves and skills are gonna. The main one is gonna be +2, and then anything else, or a couple will be +1. That's it. And armor clash around 12ish. Obviously, goblins have 15. Which is fine, but around 12ish, leathery skin, hide, whatever, and the hit points 10ish. I mean, this could be a spider. This could be a goblin. This could be a giant rat. Swamp creature at first, second, first-ish level, and then you might give them one interesting thing that they can do. And it's usually defensive, I would say, at that level, so that they're not overly going to kill the first level characters. So something defensive, like they can hide, they can disengage freely and then flee like a goblin, or they have a little bit. They can get into the water and swim away, kind of thing, or maybe they got one little parry and then they can take off. Something to do with, like, for me, it's something to do with maybe they kill a couple and then a couple flee, get away, kind of thing, or maybe they throw a little smoke bomb and little spit out a little stink cloud that doesn't mess the characters up but gives them a chance to get away, or something like that. Or might give the characters a disadvantage to an attack for one turn. It's just something kind of minor like that. And obviously, that, like, a save would be DC 10, 12, whatever kind of thing against the characters. And obviously 50 points XP, experience points. So then at third level, you get +4. They get, like, maybe a 1d8 with a long sword, or larger claw things, or whatever. +1. You can do +2, if you think that the creature's a little tougher. And then they'll have a save a skill that +3, maybe 1. A couple, and then the rest are +1, if that. And obviously, armor class goes up a little, 15, hit points around 30. They get one spell or a skill or whatever that does a little extra damage. The characters have to resist now, and there's an XP of 100. And the attacks could be like charges, like they get an extra charge. I'll explain that when I get to this next thing here. But fifth level, so +5, 1d8 +3, save and skills maybe 1 or 2 at +4, and then a couple of +2s, and that's it. And then armor class 16ish, hit points 50ish. And then they'll have some, you'll put a couple little skills or spells in there that they have XP 300. So that's it. That's kind of like, the encounters, like how, you kind of quickly drum up something, an NPC type of creature. Obviously, you're gonna create obviously you're gonna use monster main and all that. But I'm just saying, if you don't want to access it, you quickly want to just do a couple of thugs or a couple of ogres or whatever it is. You can just quickly kind of follow this basic, stats, and also you come up with the spell attack, which obviously is going to kind of match the levels, and then the DC is going to be like 10 or 12 at lower level, 15ish, and then 16, 15, 16 at higher level. I would say 13, 14 at mid level, the mid ones. And of course, this is referring mainly to low to mid level stuff. And familiarize yourself in your own way to the different kinds of spells spells and skills that creatures could have. And again, like, you can obviously use specific spells, or I kind of like to just generalize spells, because they get, as soon as I tell them they got to save versus Constitution save 12, what is that? Poison, stinking cloud, or dex save versus vines coming up, or necrotic, rottingness, and then just give them they're all, that's it. They're getting, I'm using spells. They're all excited. So I there's the concepts of the elemental attacks, which is obviously lightning, thunder, stone and earth, water, cold, fire. So those basic things, and obviously those all have to do with doing damage, saving, usually a dodge, or maybe a constitution, and then dealing with water pushing or knocking down stone. Obviously stone, earth, they all will do bludgeon damage for hit points. And you can come up with your own damage level based on maybe what can the characters handle. 4 die 8, 6 die 8, whatever. You don't even have to do the exact thing that the fireball spell does or whatever. And you can come up. They blast the rocks around you, save dex, or take 4 die 8, or 6 die 8, whatever you feel like is the severity of the situation. And then curses or conditions is obviously all the things that are kind of on the DM screen, but the blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, grappled, invisible, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, stunned, unconscious, exhaustion, all of the, and maybe sickness, and all of these things can just be a spell that they have to save or become deafened or become restrained, and you just describe it. So it's very simple to just think of a condition that they have to save against, pick a DC, pick whatever ability score, and then that's it. Movement spells, obviously this is kind of like this is where they move quickly. Impediments like the elements like jungle, water, mud, whatever. So does the evil sorcerer create just mud in front of them, and they all slip and slide and get stuck in it, kind of thing. And that's just a DC 14, or they're or they can't move, or they're disadvantaged for all attacks. Just simple stuff like that. Then there's teleport, blink stuff, vision, obscure. That's you get it. So this is my list of things that I can just pop up a spell, for the evil sorcerer or caster. That's not, I'm not thumbing through. I just kind of know something real quick, and we'll use it. Enhancements. Those are pretty. You get that to hit, to damage, to say. Maybe he casts enhance. All the orcs suddenly they got red eyes now. Well, what does that mean? Well, they all have maybe a +1 to their attack. Or they get an extra little weak attack, or whatever it is, it's just whoa, freaks out the characters, and that's a spell. And summons, and then it's pretty basic. You understand that they'll summon something, and obviously a nice ones would be these shadow guardians, blade, shield, vines, tentacles, and then the wards are obviously cool, quick little traps you can set up. So very simple, very straightforward. A way to understand how to just quickly make up an NPC, even when you're prepping to quickly make up an NPC, so you don't have to constantly go through everything. If you just familiarize yourself with the rules, and so I'm just saying this is just a way to do it, and it's a way to just kind of relax and not worry about being so I got to do exactly what they say, what it says in there. You can just kind of come up with a generalized type of character that they deal with, and it's unique. It's unique because you add uniqueness to it. You add flavor to the character. And then the smoke comes and it's toxic and you feel it. You just add that, and it already covers. It already makes it more interesting. So what I'm gonna do here is a little fun thing. Here is I'm gonna pop up, and I did one. So I just do. Here's another way you can do it for fun. So I'm doing a little search here, and I found this one, and I'll just say quickly what I did. Well, this is really cool. So quickly you could just immediately armor class 18. This guy's tough. This is high level, man. This is like hit points 80. He's got a +6 attack, right? Definitely got a charge, slam into you. And then you got to save DC 14 strength or dex, or go prone. And if you go prone, man, he's got a stinger, poison, DC 15. That's a +6 attack, 2d8 damage maybe. Man, he could. This is probably to me paralyzing. If he bites you, if he does a bite on you, and that's +6 bite, maybe 1 die 8 +3 +4 damage strength, because he looks tough, and that's a poison there. Does he have any? I would say he resists. We could say resist bludgeon or something, but you know what I mean. They can do that. And his movement speed 40. Maybe. Well, that you know what I mean. Like, so you could just quickly come up with that. Okay, what's this? I don't even know what this is. Okay, whoa, this is definitely some freaky fairy. Oh, it looks like it's bearish, but I mean this is kind of similar. This is, you know, he's got some kind of magical armor thing there, so he's going to be part of evil giants or frost giants maybe. But this guy, you know what, 200 hit points, 180 hit points. This is like high level, obviously. I mean, he's obviously got. You can do a bite, you can do a one claw, I would say, and a mace. Now, I wouldn't make this like a reaction mace, like a reactive. If someone comes behind and attacks them, you can, and that's going to have like a DC 15, you know, dex save, or you knocked prone, or strength save, or whatever, you know, like. And I would say he's got an arm class of all that, man, 17, 18, you know, with and this must give him something. Maybe a save versus magic or something, you know, like it's something magical about it, you know. So basic stuff like that. What else? Well, yeah, he's definitely huge with those skulls there. So this is definitely some sort of giant pet. Rakashawa? I don't know what that is. Okay, so oh my gosh, what is, geez, another giant creature here. So obviously it's going to have a huge swallow skill, gigantic, you know, 200 hit points. Obviously a +8 or +9 bite, swallow, 68 +6, you know, damage at least, swallow, and then in the water, so you're at disadvantage, all kinds of stuff there. So yeah, that's freaky deaky. Let's just go with something. Let's see if there's something kind of minery. Okay, so this is there's a little creature. So you know, this is obviously gonna be a little fairy creature. I would just this would have little, obviously chameleon, you know, hiding, stealth, +5, +4. Maybe it's more of a, comes up to you at night, and you know it only has a few hit points obviously, but I would give it a armor class. It's got like 6 limbs, so it's going to be kind of, looks like it could be fast. So it'd be armor class 15. Only got like 10 hit points, but this is like a mid-level creature, and obviously it's got dark vision, good smell. It's going to come up and sneak along and do some kind of mesmerizing, I would say, mesmerizing or calming thing. So DC 12, 13, calms you down, and then just steals something from you. Probably takes off, and you can't see it. So stealth +5. It has a probably disengage. Obviously climbing, you know, +5. You know, very frustrating. But if it steals something, that's its weakness, right? So if it steals something, it's holding onto that thing. So it's going to be a disadvantage for at least the first couple rounds, and you can chase it or you know, try to get it, you know. So that's, you know, something like that. This is goofy. So you know what I'm saying? So once you kind of understand the basics of like what you can do. Oh, what's this? Okay, so I can see. So he's small. So I would have a bunch of them. I wonder if their goal. This is freaky deaky. Like their goal is to steal something from you, like lay there, steal something from you, and then they'll pin themselves to damage you, and you got to, you know, resist versus that. Like, and you see something on you, like they stole it from you. You see something on them that's yours, and you're trying to look for it, right? And they prick themselves, and that hurts you. So that's like wisdom save, probably high. I'd make it high, and then the pain is like 1d4 +1, or you know, necrotic-y kind of damage. And you got to hit them and destroy them before they can take your item off of them. So they got a DC or armor class, probably like it's probably like a mid to low level too, 12, and the hit points 20, 10 maybe, because they look pretty small, but they're probably hard to hit too. But it just looks kind of weird and freaky. They kind of freak people out, and you know, you just gotta destroy it and wipe it out. And I would say it's part of like, especially if they're camping or in like a dungeon, and it's like just junk everywhere, but it looks safe, you know. And at night they kind of sneak up, you know, +5 stealth. Maybe they have advantage because of it's their junk terrain or whatever. Anyway, something weird like that. Yeah. So you get what I'm saying? You just kind of familiarize yourself with different things that you can do. Familiarize yourself with you just set your DC for whatever they're doing. you know, hit points, you just generalize it because they don't know exactly how many hit points they have. You know, when you're playing, you've got the hit points on your sheet. The players don't know. You can do 20, 30, 40. It doesn't have to be exacto hit die with the hit die and the constitution or whatever. So just, yeah, make it, you know, and then obviously +3, +4 for all, you know, low level, +4, +5 for mid level, and +6 for really high. So it's that kind of simplicity, along with just understanding these basic kind of things to do, the conditions that the characters could be in, movements, you know, perception stuff here, enhancements. Just get to familiarize yourself with that, so that you can just come up with stuff quickly and less stressful for you, right? So it's easier just to make more interesting kind of creatures, and not have to worry about constantly looking at the spell book to find specific things that you need to do. Yeah. So anyway, that's just my advice. Just on sort of DMs Go Easy Part 2. Same sort of concept though, but just a way to get you to realize how you know, simplify things. Obviously, you know, enjoy the intricacies of Monster Manual and Spellbook and spells, but again, this is just sort of an option to just kind of make it a little easier for you to DM.